Welcome to the Just Tinkering the Nose Game Week 1 weekly update. So without further ado, let's crack on. Taking a quick look at how the top of the league looks so far after one game week means a little, I know, but there we are. We do have every now and then Ben Sinclair in first position, followed by Steve Wasden, Michelle Wright, Reese, Jamie, Luke and Alex. To be fair, across the whole league, I think we were quite tight. It seemed that all managers had chosen players from the right teams, those that had got the attacking returns, but it just happened to be in a couple of instances that you chose Odegaard. Saka's the one who got the points, and it could quite easily be the other way around next game week. So we'll see what happens. Early days as it is, but for the moment, every now and then, congratulations, league leaders. So quickly, manager of the week obviously is Ben with 75 points and an overall game week rank of 705,139. And of course, manager of the month is also manager of the week on game week 1. So congratulations, Ben. So you got the double. We've got in August 2 more games before Manager of the Month is called, so a third of the way through that just at the moment. Let's have a look at the Champion League then. So Group 1, wins for Every Now and Ben, Was Athletic, Izzy Does It and Upthorpe Massive, which means equally losses for Dalton Owls, Rogers Dodgy Lodgers FC, Kingdom and Wayo and the Full Monty 57. Moving into match day 2, As It Does It takes on Upthorpe Massive. Every Now and Ben takes on the Full Monty 57. Kingdom and Wayo takes on Rogers Dodgy Lodgers FC. And Dalton Owls take on Was Athletic. Into Group 2, Jenks 11, 1 Point Anchors FC, Bison FC and Badger Attack are all winners this week, which means Samba, Come on Seattle, Wawa and Callum's Hawks are all losers. Fixtures for next week, Bison FC against Samba, 1 Point Anchors FC against Jenks 11, Wawa against Come on Seattle, Callum's Hawks against Badger Attack. In Group 3, and Group 3 is only 7 teams at a bye as it goes through the draw. But so the 7 teams that we have at the moment, leaders and winners for this week are 2025. Also winning are Polishevsky, Worrell Wanderers and Singapore Slingers. And losing, this means AC McClaw, Pez FC and Ben's Blues 57 are yet to get off the mark. So the fixtures for match day 2 in Group 3, Singapore Slingers against 2025. AC McClaw take a bye for next week and they will get their 3 points. Ben's Blues 57 against Pez FC and Worrell Wanderers against Polishevsky. Group 4, thank you love, Dougie the Dog FC, Go Izzy on Me and Hockey's Heroes all victorious. Smalley Stalwarts, Not Very Athletic and Strummerville FC all without a win. Looking forward to match day 2, Dougie the Dog FC against Smalley Stalwarts, Hockey's Heroes against Thank You Love, Go Izzy on Me, have got the bye, and Strummerville FC against Not Very Athletic. One of the things that we're going to do this season as we go from podcast to podcast is have a closer look at the stats across our league and maybe across the wider league as well. So Dr. Gareth will join me at some point in the future to discuss these and banter around the benefits or otherwise of certain players for certain teams at certain times as we progress. And then as we move in more than likely into the second half of the season, that strategy of when to play your triple captain or your bench boost. However, early stats for the moment, ownership. Let's have a look at Isaac. Isaac with 27 of the 30 managers having Isaac this first game week. Haaland was owned by 19. Pedro Porro, cheeky Spurs defender, was owned by 16 of us. Nice return there from Pedro. And then Mo Salah was only owned by 9 of us. So 30% of the overall teams in the league. More of the most owned then, Eze, 15, half of us had Eze. Crystal Palace didn't get a return this week, maybe should have done. Some poor refereeing decisions perhaps there. Saka, on the other hand, did give us a nice return there, 10.5, I think he is off the top of my head. So nearly a third of us. Trent Alexander-Arnold, nearly half of us with the favourable Liverpool-Ipswich game. I've chosen Trent, and he did return, and he seems to be playing at least after the first game that little bit higher up the field, so maybe a little bit more attacking involvement. And then 14 of us have got a bloody big headache with Solanke now injured until after the international break. So 4 substitutions coming in because an inevitable drop in price is coming if it hasn't already. I wanted to think a little bit about differentials. Those players that maybe 1 or 2 of us have got, everyone else hasn't, what's the merit and what's the worth of having them, but also thinking about teams and options across those teams. So you've still got coverage, still got representation, but where is your money better spent on one rather than the other? And a really good example to start that conversation off, and as we progress over podcast to podcast, when I'm joined with some of you guys, maybe Dr. Gareth will also be joining me as well, hopefully on a more regular place, and we can discuss some of these through. But first one, Kevin De Bruyne, Manchester City captain, played the full 90 minutes versus Foden, who is also Manchester City legend, really good last season, both are 9.5 million. Is your money better spent at the moment on a Kevin De Bruyne or a Phil Foden? I'd say answers on a postcard, but if you have got a comment, you can always send something in using WhatsApp. Other thoughts as we move forward and players to think about, for example, Aston Villa, after they play Arsenal in this game week 2, their fixtures become quite favourable. So Tielemans, 5.5 million midfielder for Aston Villa, might be someone to have a look at as a budget price point as you're tinkering your team and moving it forward. There may be some decisions for Salah owners, releasing some money, maybe to go for a more premium attacker with Solanke now injured. But do we get rid of Salah, bring Jttk in as a replacement, who is playing up front for Liverpool at the moment? However, it's maybe not as guaranteed of the minutes that Salah would be. Jttk, you probably think more likely to be substituted around the 60-minute mark if things weren't going too well for Liverpool as a change of formation. And of course, Darwin as well is lingering in the background somewhere. So a couple of thoughts, anyone who's got Salah, maybe an option to move over to Jttk. And then some of those owners of Eze this week, probably disappointed, a really, really good performance. And I think here it's really sticking to your squad, sticking to your first pick and going, I've got quality players in quality teams. Not everybody is going to return every game week, but so long as this is rotating and they're contributing regularly, then that should be fine. And Eze really showed this game week gone that he has got the potential to contribute to your score, your team score on a regular basis. So I think for the moment, keep true to him, keep honest, and see what happens over the next couple of game weeks to see how he progresses forward as a scoring midfielder. So wrapping up, things to consider. 14 of us will have got the headache of Solanke and what to do there. Captain choices, 19 ownership of Haaland, you'd expect 19. Managers will captain Haaland in that case, and maybe people moving over from Salah to Haaland ownership as well. And then in that defensive or premium defensive position, do you go with Trent or Man City's Coutinho? However, the other thing you could do is just say the transfer, keep honest with your squad, and roll them over. Anyway, whatever you choose to do, best of luck this week and catch you soon.